say that this is one of the most tragic days for the country. We have not only lost a legend, a true nationalist, son of the soil who believed in the Bharat story, passionate about his work, simple in his lifestyle, rich in his values, and yet so humble that only last week when I was in New York at a Taj hotel, the lady who was running the lifts, the lift woman, was very proudly telling me that I am a friend of Mr. Ratan Tata and he had invited me to visit India. I have visited India for 1 week as a guest of Ratan Tata, the lift woman at one of their hotels. That was the character of the person. Of course, in the business world, he's left behind a legacy which will be very difficult for anybody to beat in many lifetimes. He started with great trial and tribulation. Of course, he worked his way up, no privileges. Right from the shop floor, his days in Tata Motors, running from one department to the other, days on the shop floor of Tata Steel. But his humaneness has remained with him throughout his life. So much so that when Tata Steel reduced some of their manpower, they made sure that every person was not required, got full salary for the rest of his working years. Despite very adverse circumstances, he made a mark for himself right from the beginning. He took the Tata name across continents. The acquisition of Chorus, the acquisition of Tetley in UK, the acquisition of Jaguar Land Rover was much debated, but he had the courage of conviction that India and Indians can succeed internationally. And each one of those companies is also today a jewel in the crown. TCS is a product of his times, his leadership. Chandra, and before that Ramadurai, and before that Kohli, they all ran that admirably. But the common factor through the TCS journey was Ratan Tata. And today India is recognized the world over as the country which provides the best talent, the best skills, and the flag bearer has been TCS for decades now. In fact, the India brand, the India story is very closely intertwined with the Tata story. We believe Tata represents India. Tata represents the true Bharat spirit of enterprise, the Bharat engagement on technology, and the Bharat eminence that is enjoyed across the world also has a Tata brand. Today, a very humble person, a personal assistant of one of the business persons in Mumbai, wrote a very poignant tale about his own experiences, right up to the fact that even if he was 5 minutes late for a meeting, he would personally call up to apologize that I'm stuck in traffic and I'll be 5 minutes late. It shows the character of the person. He brought integrity to the fore, running his businesses, and I think the Tata Group, Ratan Tata, and the entire Tata leadership, the entire Tata family is closely aligned with the vision of Viksit Bharat. They will continue to keep his legacy and his ideals and play an important role in our Amrit Kal, in our journey to make India a developed nation, I salute the man's vision, I salute the man's contribution, and I'm confident that his mission will continue. He will always be in our prayers, he will always be in our heart and mind, and he will always be up there to guide us and guide the country.
If I could ask you, what were those few qualities which you always thought that I wish I could imbibe them in my style of working, as you've seen him through the years?
Well, he was so soft-spoken. I don't think he ever would have ever lost his voice or been loud to anybody or ever been angry on anybody. Is something that I would love to imbibe from Mr. Ratan Tata's character. His humbleness, his smiling demeanor, he was always smiling. And it's a killer smile.
Yes.
That smile of his, and I don't know if you have, and most of your channels have been showing us pictures of his early days. He could have been a Bollywood star. And maybe a Hollywood star. So handsome. And despite going through a lot of difficulties, despite going through ill health, he was never dependent on anybody. I remember seeing him drive his own car until very recently. Till the last time that he could be on the wheel, he was on the wheel.
Correct.
And that can-do spirit, that never say die spirit, that self-reliance that he built, the Tata Group today, in a way, is closely intertwined with Atmanirbhar Bharat journey. And in every walk of life, and in everything that we all use or do or wear or eat or all through our life, there's a little bit of Tata in everything in our lives. He made India proud, and I only wish one can serve the nation as admirably as he has served the nation.
You have worked with him on various platforms, international platforms. How was he as putting out India's perspective out in global trade forums?
His positivity was infectious. He would never, ever speak ill even of his worst opponent. He never let prejudices or personal relations ever affect his work. Man full of conviction in India, in Bharat, a man who believed in his team, a man who delegated responsibilities very liberally and gave everybody a chance even to fail. That was the character of the man. In fact, the startup story also has a big imprint of Ratan Tata. He would give youngsters with new ideas, with innovative thoughts, an idea to he gives a chance to even unknown people to experiment with ideas, and I think he will remain as a role model for many youngsters in the years to come. Only some time back, a young person I met here told me that he is committing today to give 10% of all his salary to charity. Now just an occasion like today has inspired a young person similar to what the Tata Group has done all its life. And I can share with you, when I was railway minister, we completed the installation of Wi-Fi in about 1,000 railway stations and the first leg, and we saw a tremendous impact on the lives of the commuters and also youngsters. I mean, I visited in Raipur, I saw hundreds of young men and women, boys and girls studying at the railway station at midnight. So we decided that we'll take Wi-Fi through the length and breadth of the country at every railway station. There were about 6,500 railway stations which were still to be taken to Wi-Fi. And I barely mentioned it to him. And he said, Piyush, you don't have to worry about budgets. Tata Sons will fund the entire program. And they provided 450 crores, which helped us take Wi-Fi free of charge to the remotest corner and across the country. 6,500 railway stations today got Wi-Fi thanks to his benevolence. One conversation, a few minutes, and he instructed Mr. Venkat, his personal assistant, Venkat, you look after this project. Never did they interfere. There was some shortfall of funds. They even increased the budget. But thanks to them, across the country, we were able to take Wi-Fi.
The most relevant bold move was Air India. Again, not directly under his leadership, but under his supervision.
He took it upon himself as a challenge and a national duty to revive Air India. He guided the board. I'm sure Mr. Chandrasekhar would have received his guidance, his support before Tata's bid for Air India. And now their bold move to merge Vistara and Air India is truly remarkable. I must acknowledge and thank the Tata Group and Mr. Tata and Mr. Chandrasekhar and the entire board for their commitment to the nation. And I have no doubt in my mind, I'm a regular Air India traveler, and I have no doubt the Maharaja will be back in action as they are getting their new planes coming into service. As they start getting permission to fly the new planes internationally, you will see the Maharaja and Air India back on the ground.